Okay, I can give you my thoughts on her now and tell you how to build her because I said I would today. So, Topaz and Numby. Here are the preliminary things you need to know. First of all, how do I build her, Zy0x? Thanks for asking. For reference, I wanted to mention this. I do still plan on making full Star Rail guides. I've just been like traveling a lot because it's con season and focusing on Genshin for that. So I'm making shorter videos here. But I will make longer ones for future characters, so keep that in mind. But for now, here's what you need to know. Okay, here are my thoughts on her so far, okay? She's a hunt carry, very single target, but her damage is pretty decent. However, if you're playing her as a hyper carry, which you can, and I've seen people do it, it seems copium, and it's not going to be as impressive as like the other hunt carries. Like Jingli, well, she's destruction, but even her as a carry, or like literally any of the other carries as hyper carries will feel more like actual hyper carries than Topaz. What Topaz can do though is have good single target damage, but also buff your follow-up attacks, which means if you run her with another follow-up attacker like Clara, who I don't have, or like Jingyuan, who I have and I'm using, or even like some other follow attackers like Himiko, Kafka, Blade, kind of like they're not like pure follow attackers, but they can, or like even Herda, whatever. Then not only will your Topaz damage still be pretty good single target, but then you'll have other characters that can also have decent follow attack damage, but now it's better. Also synergizes really well with Asta. We'll talk about that later, which is very pog. Lycon's very fucking easy. Either you pull for a signature or you use your free to play Cruising in the Stellar Sea S5, which you can get and Superimposed for free at Herda store. That's it. You don't need to know more. However, if you have Swordplay S5, it's about as good. They're very similar. Usually it's like slightly worse, but it can also depend on uptime of the effect. Generally, they're both really good stat sticks. Those are like the only two options you should be using outside of your signature. Your signature is pretty good. Let me pull it up so I can show you guys the stats because I don't have them memorized. Bad guide maker. Listen, it's been a while since I read it. This Lycon is pretty good because it gives you a ton of stats, crit rate, crit damage, and just damage on your follow-up attacks, which is good because Topaz and Numby, they're follow-up attacking character, right? Numby is most of your damage. However, as far as comparing this to like Cruising in the Stellar Sea is a really good stat stick, okay? At S5, which you can get for free, you get 16 to 32 crit rate. 16 always, another 16 if they're under 50% HP, and 40% attack when you defeat an enemy. This could be even just a weak enemy. In Memory of Chaos, for example, there's like a big one and then a small one. You just kill the small one, right? So it's a lot of stats, which is why Cruising in the Stellar Sea and Swordplay aren't that far off of your signature Lycon at S1. Okay, signature Lycon is still the best, but it's not that much better. Also, yes, something I do want to point out is that if you're running another carry with Topaz, which you typically will be doing, they will get more damage as well. So it can be like more team DPS. I'm not calling this Lycon bad, right? It's pretty good, but it's not like you need it. It's not like the biggest upgrade, especially because there's already really good options, really good stat sticks that you can use on like any hunt character, like Cruising in the Stellar Sea. But it's definitely still a good upgrade if you want. Oh, you can also use Seely's hunt Lycon. It's just a stat stick, but it's usually not that good for her. It's a stat stick, it's fine, but I still would recommend Cruising or Swordplay S5, generally speaking. Okay, for her relics, this is what you want, okay? Set wise, you want usually 2-piece fire with 2-piece attack and or 2-piece speed instead of attack. Maybe is fine as well if you want speed, but generally 2 fire and 2 attack are what you go for. Now you might be like, Zy0x, what the hell? She's a fire character. Why aren't you going the 4-piece fire set? Okay, 4-piece fire set makes no sense. What even is this? Increases skill damage, sure, but you're not really skilling on Topaz. You use your skill maybe once. Like you'll use your skill like once to change the mark from one enemy to another if you want to. You don't like need to spam your skill. Your basic attacks or follow-up attacks, you're typically with your passive that you're gonna unlock. You're typically just basic attack spamming. Then when you ult, your fire damage is increased. You might be like, oh, for how long? For a turn? 2 turns? For 1 attack! Sorry, I'll calm down. 1 attack. What? So it's like viable. Like if your 4-piece has really good substats, sure. Okay, but it's not better than 2-piece fire with 2-piece attack, or even 2-piece fire with 2-piece speed, especially if you can get 1-3-4 speed, which is a nice breakpoint for Memory of Chaos to go twice in one cycle, or even going 4 Musketeer is fine because you get basic attack damage and speed and attack percent, which is basically just like going 2 speed with 2 attack, but you also get some basic attack damage, which isn't the biggest deal, but you know, it's free. So there's a lot better options. I'm running 2-piece, and you should go based on substats. With that in mind, a lot of people are typing Susk in my chat. I'm just gonna say there is a good chance that we get something catered towards follow-up attackers at some point, okay? Keep that in mind. There probably will be something catered towards follow-up attackers, but for now, 2-piece is what you should go. For your set, the ball and sphere, the planner ornaments, what was that? Inner Style Soto is great because it increases your follow-up attack damage, which is most of your damage, or like a big chunk, and your ultimate, which is okay. It also gives you 8% crit rate. Very nice. I recommend Inner Style Soto. Go with this for her. However, obviously, substats are very important, so if you don't have it, you can go Space Stealing Station. Where is it? I can't find it, because this gives you 24% attack, which is not bad. You could alternatively go Ruland Arena for basic and skill damage, but it's not as good, and 80% crit rate, so it's not useless. It's just not quite as good. Inner Style Soto is the best, and Space Stealing is second best. You could also technically go like the support sets, but I don't really like that. Okay, for the stats you're looking for, here's what you want. Crit is king. Crit is the best. best for your damage, okay? Crit buffs you, it buffs Numby, your little piggy. He's the goat. It buffs both of you, okay? You want crit. Now, attack is also really good for you, okay? Attack helps, increases both of your damage. Really good as well. Crit, and then attack, and then also speed. These are like the 4 stats on this piece are the stats you're looking for, okay? Crit's the best, then attack and speed. For most carries, I value speed up until at least 134 or whatever breakpoint you're going for a lot. I value speed a bit more than attack for most carries, at least to a certain amount. For Topaz, it's not quite the same. Speed's still good, but Numby has a fixed speed of 80, but his actions will be advanced forward as you do attacks on your other characters. Your ult helps with that, and then your allies' attacks will advance your Numby forward as well. And then outside of that, it's your Topaz that will advance your Numby's action forward. So speed will still help your Numby go more often and will help Topaz herself go more and advance your Numby more. I'm trying to word this correctly, but it's not as efficient as on some other carries that want speed more because Numby, as I said, has a fixed speed. So typically attack is a bit more valuable, but again, if you're close to breakpoint like 134, speed is still good. Also for your boots, you might be like, okay, speed or attack, right? Again, it depends, but I also recommend a lot of time running Asta, and Asta speed buffs you, and so you can get to these speed breakpoints. You can get high speed through your Asta and a few substats instead of needing a main stat. Again, go on substats though. Like I'm using speed because my substats are better, but especially because I use her with Asta, I would probably go attack boots, right? Generally for your main stats though, crit body, either crit rate or crit damage, attack or speed boots. I recommend attack a bit more than with some other characters, but speed is still viable. Fireball. Attack is okay because attack is actually valuable on this character, by the way. I want to emphasize that. Attack is good. It helps you a lot. It gives you more damage, but fire damage is generally just the best. Ignore these substats. I know it's atrocious. And then for your rogue, just go attack. You don't really want the ERR. Attack is just better. And that's pretty cool. Eidolons, again, I don't usually go into too much depth, but your first Eidolon's good. It's a pretty decent amount of damage. It's like 10 to 20% more. So not only is it that damage bonus to your sorry, please edit that out. So, okay, what this does is it'll increase the follow-up attack damage that the enemy that is marked by your Numby, like your skill marks an enemy, right? Whichever enemy is marked will take more damage, more crit damage by follow-up attacks. So, your Numby will do way more damage. Other follow attacks will do way more damage. Pretty good. Definitely a good E1. Not needed, but a nice upgrade if you want it. Overall, build pretty simple. Traces, level all of them. Make sure you get these. These are really important. Most of these are really good. Like more damage against fire weakness. That's great. Your base stats are considered follow attacks. That's huge. This one is more energy. Well, I mean, that's, you know, you want that. So all of these are great, especially this one. And all of your talents are worth leveling. However, talent and skill are the most important. And then the other two are you might as well. For her teams, this is very important because I think you can get very low value out of Topaz and Numby if you don't build her teams correctly, okay? I think generally you want to play her with another follow-up attacker and then a buffing harmony support or a debuffing nihility support and then a healer or shielder, okay? Generally. Now, there are alternatives. You can also do like a hyper carry hunt build, which is like, okay, I'm just gonna do one harmony character like Asta or Tingyun, then either another one like both of them, or a defense shredding nihility like Silverwolf or Pila, and then a healer, and then you play her like you play like fucking Sealy or any hunt carry, Yanqing, whatever. Well, Yanqing needs a shield, but just a hunt carry, and then she's like hyper carrying. But in my experience, they're a bit underwhelming compared to playing for follow-up attacks, but then also buffing another follow-up attacker, right? A new character could come out that's good on follow-up attacks. Boom. What if they work with Topaz and Numby? They probably will. So a character that has a lot of synergy with current characters and also probably future ones. For now, I recommend running her with a follow-up attacker. Now, you might be like, okay, well, what follow-up attackers can you use? Clara is probably the best because her damage is really good. Also, Svarog, help me, Mr. Svarog, can like, you know, so she's like tanky, very easy, very comfy. I don't have Clara, so sad I can't play her, but Clara's typically like the best here. Jing Yuan's also a good option. My Jing Yuan has historically been mediocre, but I cleared memory cost 10. I'm about to show you guys that right after this. And it works well because Jing Yuan's most of his damage comes from the Lightning Lord, which is a follow-up attack, and Topaz buffs follow attack damage, so Pog. Also, a lot of these characters that I'm mentioning, well, not all of them, but some follow attackers like Jing Yuan do a lot of AoE damage, right? Lightning Lord hits everyone. Erudition character. Topaz, very single target heavy, which means Topaz will help single target against bosses. And then if there's a lot of enemies, Topaz will feel a bit weaker, but Jing Yuan will work there because Jing Yuan's good against a lot of enemies. Other options include other follow attackers like Kafka, who can surprisingly work despite her mostly being played in nihility teams. She can work here just fine. You could also use technically Blade. Again, feels like a weird option, but Blade is, in my opinion, just a really strong carry that because of that, and he doesn't really use many skill points, and because he has a good follow-up attack, he can work. You could technically use Yanqing, although I haven't tested that, so this might be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But you can use basically any follow-up attackers. You can use Himiko, which actually is pretty good. Also fire synergy, especially with Asta, but then you're running 3 fire characters, so if the enemies aren't fire weak, I wouldn't recommend that. Or you could do both of them with Silverwolf and then implant fire. You could also do just generic generic follow-up attackers, even like, well, I don't want to say play Herda, but like if you want to, you can. Like any follow-up attack, basically any follow-up attacker will get better with Topaz and Numby because your follow-up attack damage is higher. However, I recommend characters like Clara, Zy0x, good follow-up attackers, or any of the other ones that I mentioned work the best here. A character like Himiko, despite her not being meta, gets better here, right? If you're like, oh, I really want to play her, you can. Okay, sorry, I'm not trying to slander Herda. I'm sure Herda's fine. You can play Herda. Okay, if you want to play Herda and kudu-ding, you can play Herda with her. My point is, follow-up attacks can work, even kind of March 7th, but that's copium. But yeah, any follow-up attacker. For your support options, this is important. Listen up, children, listen up. Support options, Harmony, I highly recommend Asta or Tingyun. They are both really good. Tingyun can only buff one character at a time for the most part, but this is really good. A lot of damage, a lot of energy, and this is really good. A lot of attack, and also skill point efficient because you can basic attack while your Blessing Benediction lasts for 3 turns, and just a pretty good character overall. Also, her Eidolons give you like more energy and stuff. Pretty good. And speed with E1. Ignore her build. I gave her Relics to Asta, but yeah. Tingyun really good. Asta also really good. Not only underrated option, but also good in general, and especially good with Topaz and Numby. My personal favorite option with her because you can run her on Planetary Rendezvous, which gives you fire damage bonus. It'll buff the same damage type as the wearer has, 12 to 24%. Obviously, other light cones are viable too, but this one's great. You can also do meshing cogs for energy or whatever, right? A lot of good supportive options. And you get a bunch of speed, which is really nice. Instantly, boom, you meet your speed requirements, and a bunch of attack through stacks from your skill. Now, also, this gets a lot more consistent with Eidolons, but even without them, still a great option, especially against fire weak enemies. And you get this, which I talked about earlier, 18% damage, just fire damage, which is great. So I really like Asta. Pretty good stuff DPS and just support in general, especially if built correctly. Good weapon, and against enemies that are fire weak, especially like the current Memory Chaos 10, where Asta literally carried us. Tingyun also really good though. I think they're both similar. Bronya doesn't work as well here because you can't really make use of the extra turn as much. Still fine. Like Bronya is never bad. You get crit damage, you get an extra turn, whatever. But the buff from your skill, it only lasts for 1 turn, and it's a buff to Topaz, not to Numby, kind of like with Zy0x. But here, I would say it's even a bit worse, but it's fine, right? You get crit damage, attack, it's fine. And yeah, like you can get more Numby turns because you can like Topaz attack, then Bronya, then Topaz again. So I don't even think Bronya is bad. Like genuinely, I think Bronya is always good, always, no matter what. So like you can make it work, but I would use Bronya on your other team and then use either Asta or Tingyun on this team. If you're playing Asta, she can buff all your characters at the same time. If you're playing Tingyun, you kind of have to choose. Like let's say you're playing Zy0x and Topaz and Numby, you'd have to choose who you're skilling, who you're ulting. They can depend on the situation if you want more single target or more AoE, but yeah, Nihility supports work fine too, especially if you have an extra slot. For your healer, literally play anyone. I actually really like Fu Xuan if you have her, not just because she's like pretty broken in general, but also not only is she skill point efficient, but she also gives you a lot of buffs. Like you get crit rate, which is huge, right? Obviously more damage, but also, you know, you'll tank a lot of damage and you'll heal your team passively. And well, I guess the main thing is just skill point efficiency, but like you don't need her. Obviously, like Fu Xuan great, Luocha also great, but you could use like even free to play supports. Like you could just use Natasha or Lynx. I love Lynx if you have her. Lynx is great, but pretty much any support or shielder can work. With that in mind, I am now going to do Memory Chaos with my Topaz and Numby. Obviously, my crit rate's a little low, but I get more from this effect, and I get 12% with, well, it's not 12 because it's not level 10, but it would be 12% crit rate from Fu Xuan. So the crit rate's actually higher than it seems. Our build is pretty good. Now, the only thing is, I wish I had attack boost instead of speed because Asta gives us a lot of attack, a lot of speed rather, and attack, but mostly speed, but it's fine. Still good. Our crit body could be better. Some of our pieces, like this ball is terrible, so it's not like the most investment, but still good. We're on a free-to-play light cone, relatively like kind of relatable investment, but like a piece like this is insane, so it's like a middle ground. Our Zy0x has been historically mid, but I geared him for this, so our Zy0x is also gonna be doing well. Obviously I only have 1 2-piece, but I went for substats on the other pieces because my lightning set sucks, but honestly not bad. This light cone kind of sucks, but it's the best one we have, so yeah. Woohoo! Sorry. All right, let's try it. This.
Found your weakness.
Okay.
Time to get vigilant.
Time to get vigilant. Sure. Okay, that's good.
The market is unpredictable.
Alt here right after Topaz took action. I mean, Numby took action. So now we'll get advanced forward. That's fine. That's fine. Yep. Numby, my king. Okay. Okay. We didn't have Asta's ult up yet, but it's okay. We should have it now.
Everything is on stars. Give these trailblazers your blessing.
Okay, okay, okay. Still, we should have enough skill points. I didn't really do the math, but yeah, it is for sure. We have enough because we can basically attack. Topaz is... Wait. Is the mark on... Did I just mess up?
Together as one. Human creations.
Follow my charge. Here is thunder.
No, we're fine, we're fine.
Show no mercy.
I thought I messed up, we're fine.
Oh, let's see. A quick divination.
Conflict is hidden.
I don't want Lightning Lord to pro... Oh no, he procced on one enemy. It's fine. It's all good because Numby's next. Nope, never mind, he's not.
No matter.
It's fine. This should be easy because we have a lot of fire shield break. And Numby and Asta are good here. I'm gonna ask the E. Speed buff.
Give these trailblazers your blessing.
Then hits this one.
I see through you.
Do I need to skill? I don't think I do. We're just chilling.
There's no time to hear. It's thunder.
Okay, that's fine.
Yin and yang.
Yin and yang. That's fine as well. We're taking like no damage. Fushuan, my goat. I can afford the skill point.
Let the valuation
And then skill here.
and awaken.
I might alt.
Follow my charge.
I have no skill point! Okay. Ignore this normal attack, okay? Just ignore it. Pretend this didn't happen.
All things human.
I shouldn't have... I skilled one too many times on Asta, probably. It's fine. It's okay. It is what it is. You make mistakes. Live, laugh, learn. Not everyone's perfect. Not everyone's perfect. I am, but you're not. What? Sorry. Okay, live, laugh, learn.
Conflict is pitiless. Show no mercy.
Now I'm playing it safe. I'm saving up on skill points. Low Eidolon Asta would have had the skill there to maintain stacks. True. True low W. I was just being relatable because I have Eidolon. I was being relatable. That's why. That's why. I was being relatable. That's why. Any truers in the chat or no? I'm just checking. I'm just checking if there's truers. I'm just checking. Anyways, so yeah, this is all fine. Then we do, he's marked. We're going to hit him. Advance our Numby forward. Then after our Numby goes, we alt. Boom. Yes, sir. Then Fushuan. Do I need to reset the field? No, I don't. Lightning Lord. Not bad damage. Obviously, it would be a lot better if there were more enemies, but it is what it is. Boom. Numby comes in. Boom. Follow attack central. Lightning Lord, it's your turn to shine. I have a spare skill point here. I'm gonna use it. Asta is broken, man. That's really good. I am going to... I don't need to skill. I kind of want to, but I'm not going to. So I'm gonna skill here. Skill here as well.
All things human creations.
Then Numby goes.
There's no time to conflict. It's pitiless.
I wish I had my ult here, but it's fine. That's enough. We break the shield. Numby goes. And this should be it. Or basically clear this. That doesn't take too long.
Give these trailblazers your blessing.
Nummy's actually carrying. I mean, Asta's also carrying. I can't lie.
Here is thunder.
Nice. That wasn't too bad. That was actually, that was respectable. That was respectable. Free to play Lycone. Okay, second half. Where's my Pila? Oh my god, I didn't bring Pila.